stay as friends. Take 10 steps back till you get to where you're going. Just research where you're going. A t-shirt where it's snowing. A preacher not quite knowing what he's saying. What he's saying. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold all this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Take 10 steps back, close your eyes and listen, and look from somewhere different. I know that I've been slipping. I fold my tie and ribbon to hide my scars. That's how it starts. Ooh, I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold all this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Yeah, told you so. Yeah, I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold all this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I told you so.
Cambridge to Boston, lives in a world she's lost in, victim of compromise. He's staring at her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just sheds her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Wasted He can see your Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let him taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. You let her go, catacombs. You let her go, let her go, catacombs. You let her go. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let him taste her tears. She's falling too far.
James, you turn my mic off. Why are you doing that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's time to welcome our first guest this season to the studio. It's Jordan Nothing Gilbert. Hello.
How's
How
it
you
going,
doing?
gentlemen? I'm doing great. Aside from the traffic I just endured to get up here, I ran a little late. I was supposed to be their first map.
You didn't miss much, so it's all good.
Yeah, I heard the OpTic boys are playing deep with like 120, 130 ping.
Yeah, they are in Europe.
yeah, we all know how that is. Do you remember what was that team that was it something Wolf?
Devil Walk's team. Winter Fox.
Echo. Wait, okay,
Winter
yeah,
Fox.
Winter Fox. Yeah.
Wow,
Visa issues.
something wolf.
Yeah,
Wow,
I don't know.
Dan.
I'm tired. I'm really tired.
That's all right.
Yeah, something Wolf. Never mind. There's like a devil in there. There's the Fox.
They're like half of them were playing from Europe, and
Yeah.
it was a mess.
Oh yeah,
Those were tough times.
Yeah,
Those
where
were.
they came over with like anger in them,
Yeah.
devil walking the whole team.
At least it
tough
looks it's more temporary
Yep.
on OpTic. So I'm sure they'll be back in North America
How do
soon.
I-
But they've got one more.
Is there a seating? Like, do I need to establish like a posture when I'm at the desk?
As long as you're not wearing shorts, you can
Where's
you
my-
can sit however you like.
I
Yep.
need a clipboard. I feel like I need an object. I have my vlog camera here. I'll just.
You can have this if you want. It's a very miniaturized notepad.
All right.
Do you-
Oh,
do you want-
whoa,
do you want-
yeah.
do you want
Actually,
that?
you remember? Did you guys? Well, you guys are from UK, but do you know what Blue's Clues was?
Yeah, yes, I think
That's
so. I think I
right,
saw that
in
once.
The notebook. All right, cool. So I'm gonna flip this pound and pretend these are my notes.
Do you need a
Someone
pen as
wrote
well?
something
Do you,
down.
the pen to go with your notebook, sir?
How's your pen bigger than your notepad?
That sounds.
I don't know, man.
analogous.
It's just how I roll, you know. Well, I think we're about to go into the game. So, I mean, again, as James pointed out, you know, OpTic are on really high ping, so I'm sure we'll find like, interesting things to talk about. So we have the pistol round kicking off right now. I want to get your thoughts though, Jordan, of like what do you make of OpTic actually?
I don't know. It's interesting, you know. You watch Freiburg's vlog, you see them in the country. It seems like there's like a novelty to them, changing up their personal life to come over here. You saw Freiburg's vlog on his wrist. He actually had some like indents from like gaming so much. So it seems like these guys are grinding. It's really neat to see kind of like you would almost call them like a phase farm team, except at certain points in time, Magic's boy could have been thought to be one of the top 10 players in the world. He's super skilled. Freiburg was the world champ. So it's interesting to see the experience of like Freiburg and Alu come together with these three guys. So I'm curious. You know, every team needs 2 to 3 months.
Yes,
to
I was
kinda,
going to ask you that because me and James got some crap from people on the internet. We were like, they've been together for a month, and you know, we were calling them like a new team, right? And some guys like, no, they've been together for a month. They've had plenty of time. It's like, come on.
Someone said it's enough for 70%. What did he say? 70%.
They quantified it somehow.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
hilarious. 70% like
Yeah.
familiarity or whatever.
Well, there is that thing.
Chemistry.
Oh,
Like,
chemistry. Yeah, he's like 70% chemistry in 1 month or something.
70%. Shut your damn face.
remember right when Automatic joined Cloud9, we had like a couple of second places and then a fourth, and then we won Brazil. And then people were like trying to compare that to my favor against the current team. Get this easy eco around. People were trying to compare that to my the current lineup, and they were trying to like play it to my favor. Like, oh look, Jordan, your team did way better than they just did in Russian Territory. I'm like, you can't do that to them. Like, we went into like a 4 or 5 tournament run where we had practice. They jumped straight into it. So it's very contextual when you describe the state of a team in the first couple months.
So another, I mean, I can ask you questions for days. So one more
Okay.
question.
Ping doesn't matter to this guy.
So one thing that I'd love to ask you is actually, so people talk about, you know, the breadth of your map pool as a team. Like, how difficult is it actually to let's say get to that 5 maps where you're actually really confident? Because I feel like it must be really difficult because maybe, you know, once you get to a point where you feel confident on that 5th map, maybe then that one of those other maps just like kind of starts to drop because you invest so much time on that one. Does that happen often?
Yeah, I think that's where like coaches and like practice regimen is really key. So like on Cloud9, even when we got a coach, it wasn't necessarily right away that they were, ooh, a little pot fire. I like this play actually from SK. It might not net him more than 1 kill, but so yeah, in terms of where was I at again? What was it?
Yeah, so just like how difficult is it to go above like 4 good maps?
Oh yeah.
Really,
so
for a
in my
team?
opinion, with coaches nowadays, it is tough because you need to make sure every like once a week you're revisiting your best map. Hey, this is why we're good on it, because you can forget why you're strong on a CT side on a certain map. Like, oh, I was like fighting every round close range to create space for my opper. And you might stop doing that and lose some rounds, and so. It's important, I think, to have a good practice regimen, and it is tough. You have to multiple times a week kind of visit the practice room or whatever, the war room, and look at the same stuff, even if you're good at it already. So.
See how good Mixwell is with the Mag 7 up close.
Cheeky.
Timing. Ooh! Nice.
Pinned him.
Yeah, and he stopped the trade situation. But now, oh, he deserved it. He deserved it. I love it's so satisfying to kill somebody with a rifle when you've got a mag 7. That's one way to trade. Ali going through the boiler and shooting Fallen in the chest.
Just blame it on the ping, right? You should have got that mag 7.
So some people say that the guys with high ping are at more advantage than the guys with low ping. I don't believe that myself. What do you think?
When you're getting swung on by an AK, you don't want high ping. Maybe when you're the one initiating, maybe when you have a mag 7 close like that. But like that fight right there versus Taco, for instance, like anytime you're kind of getting like aggressed by an AK, high ping is pretty trash unless you like have that like swag super wide pre-aim and you kind of get lucky with hitting that first dink or whatever. But it's pretty tough.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're the guy with high ping, if I'm you know, I think there are scenarios where you can die before you've even seen the person. Like, and they just peeked you and shot you in the head, and you're like.
That super clippy on edges, for instance. I remember in a match on Cash when we were playing. Who first came to the country? It was someone a long time ago, like Pith or something. And I remember like jiggling checker to B main and him digging me in the head without it being a wall shot, and I like didn't even see him. He had like 160 ping, and he did it to like everyone the whole game, and yeah, it's. Yeah, those shots you like can't feel where you died from.
OpTic up 4-0. So I almost want to say, could we have a reversal of roles? I did think that Inferno would be easier for them to manage than Mirage, but I thought it would be on the T side where they could try to abuse those corners, as Jordan was just saying Pit was doing. But so far so good on the CT. They won the pistol and they won the buy round. They put SK on an eco, so perhaps they can steal away a map.
Yeah, but SK obviously a team that always is able to compete in rounds like this.
Yeah, we see him edging a B here.
Acompanhe as emoções do Vic e RPM.
Segunda a sexta, às 7 horas da noite.
Interesting. Yep.
And spray. That's and they get wrecked.
Whoever at the corner, I think it was Magic's, played that well. If he gets blind, they could take him down and then focus on the sandbag guy. But the fact that he was able to survive at the corner is big there. Cause that looks like they destroyed him, but one small mistake right here from Magic's, like if he got blind, I actually think SK's flashes could have been better. They assumed that...
They threw a second flash.
They assumed OpTic was passive, so that was a good play by OpTic.
They threw a second flash, but I think it was blocked by the roof when Magic's boy peeked after the first
Too deep
flash.
for him, yeah.
Yeah. Well, SK back on the buy once again. AKs.
Quick play here.
Perhaps they'll try to go for those quick engagements. Ooh, looked the wrong way for half a second, and that was enough for Mixwell now with AWP. Double AWPs.
And being really proactive, which is really nice to see. And it's going to work out here as Felt's trying to get close on top mid. Still, like, really... I mean, this is this is actually amazing to see, like, both the AWPers just rolling on top mid here.
He deserved that. It almost looks like SK are the ones with high ping, the way OpTic are playing this. They're kind of abusing SK as SK did in the previous game, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell, like, how they sort of altered their play style to just be more aggressive overall with these pings. Mixwell doing a fantastic job.
Second round in a row, he's basically opened it up, the Mag 7 round, and now the AWP round.
4K from Mixwell. All AWP kills, all on the A site. That is awesome.
What do you make of SK's struggles lately, Jordan?
You know, I think for most people that that are in the scene like us, you'd think it might be something that we don't see right under the hood, because when you watch them play, sure, Fur right there could have checked Boiler quicker. Are they getting complacent? Are they? That's not their. Normally, I shot by Taco there. Normally, when you talk about SK, they're the one team that like might drag for like an event because of a schedule thing, and then they'll step right back up. So, I've been kind of paying attention to see, are they going to slowly slip? Or are they kind of just having one of those grooves and it's slowly getting longer, right? So, you know, maybe it is going to get harder for them to stay with that resiliency. Wow, look at that timing. That's ridiculous. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I feel like SK's normal thing is they're that one team who kind of defies the odds. Maybe like the old Fnatic did. Oh, they're playing bad. And then they hammer with the best team in the world the next game or something, you know?
Yeah. I think sometimes they're slow to start after the player break. And I always looked at it sort of like they, after the player breaks or general vacations, they sort of like need to lose to get the fire back a bit. But yes, I'm still waiting as well, like you are, to see whether or not they bounce back or not, because it is pretty hard to figure out.
Well, like even that first gun round, Fur last round, I know because I was studying him a lot that he jumps up boiler fast a lot, right? And he likes to just swing and clear the halls. He just did it last round and just kind of died. So they're still kind of doing their same thing. On a map like Inferno, that's fine. That's what a default is, but we'll see. They crushed him first game, right? I didn't get to watch it. I was in traffic. They looked all right. You guys say it's OpTic's ping maybe made them struggle a little bit.
Yeah, OpTic on their T side seemed to be trying to play fast spawns towards B, trying to get a pick, taking risks to try and get an early 5 versus 4, and it didn't work out. And then SK had some fun with it as well, some rounds with AAA WPs and so on. And OpTic got some rounds back towards the end, which is good for round difference, but ultimately I think SK were always going to win that. The same cannot be said, though, for Inferno, where SK still looked at their first round. We've got some really quite rude flanks coming in from the CT side.
Yeah,
Aluk picking up the bomb and still looking for more.
That was interesting because at one point they had bottom B control on OpTic and they had 4A. And it didn't look like T's are taking B control, but I think it was Alu ran back around still for the double push bottom B. It's kind of unconventional, right? Because normally you wait for the T's to try to push back banana before you rotate around. So that was kind of... I wonder if OpTic meant to do that, or if it was just a kind of sensing.
The bomb could be collected. Oh, it's in the crawl space. That's going to make it awkward. The double peek coming in from the CTs, and maybe Fur's lost his best chance, but it might give him another one.
Oof. He was aware. It's always... Fur's... I love watching Fur. He's always kind of playing his style, sometimes quick, sometimes slow, but it always seems like it's never like he's scared. It's just always kind of like Fur.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Fur, actually. As you said, you studied his demos, but...
Do it.
So, yeah, well, all right then. So, I mean, you mentioned you're studying Fur. Is there any, like, are there any specific reasons, just because he plays on the same spots as you?
Yeah, it was partially just like we had at one point... I think a lot of teams do this. Whatever teams are the best in the world, you kind of study them, especially on maps you might be struggling. Ooh, that was cheeky.
Go on.
So, you know, naturally we were studying SK, and then over time we wanted to bring Inferno back and make it stronger. So I was watching his role specifically on that, and yeah, I think on every map when you find a good team, I tried to find the guys who were doing my spots and seeing what they were doing, and Fur was one of those guys. So.
What are some of the like insights you got from watching Fur? Because out of like all the guys on SK, I feel like he plays the most sort of risky and dynamic in many respects.
Yeah, I think he's someone who he's not necessarily an entry fragger always, but he is always aware of kind of like the CT side. So like right there, see how he's trying to walk up and like wrap. Obviously they're trying to even it up and like make a mid-round play, but even in 5 vs 5 early, what I like he did on Inferno a lot is he just takes boiler control fast, even on eco rounds, which is ill-advised a lot because it's close range, you could die. He does it fast, and his team, what they do is they always pressure B while he's in boiler with 1 or 2 guys. So he'll come out boiler alone sometimes and know that the opera's left mid, but he's kind of holding an off angle at mid because his smoke is faded.
Right.
So he'll walk out mid and take that duel on the rifle right mid and do that a lot if the smoke's gone. If the smoke's up, he'll smoke himself out wrap and just like jiggle boiler, and if the opera shoots, he now knows that his team could like dry walk up wrap. So he's really good at like trying to fish out what kind of A setup is by very subtle things. So it was cool to watch, and I incorporated a lot of that.
That's awesome.
I remember Face It finals in Milan, where you did some color. You remember you did some color for us on Inferno?
Yeah, a couple years ago. That was
I was commenting.
Yeah, nothing was like Inferno God.
That was the Ivo Power game, I think.
Versus LDLC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that one quite well.
So we have Fur. He's still in boiler, and both the CTs going down mid. There he is with the CZ, but will he hit a second one? Second mid. That's going to weaken the defenses on the B bomb, so I leave 1 person in. The rotation is here. Alu spotted now, doesn't realize that there are players moving up the mid area, so Fur's done his job. Mix well. Oh, which way will they go? Okay. they're not committing just yet to the A side. They're being careful. They know that rotation is possible. And Mixwell is holding an angle. Holding the angle no more. So, great play by SK. Some people might just charge straight into the site, but they make sure they make minimal mistakes and give minimal opportunity, which is always great to see. Great presence of mind.
It's actually been funny how aggressive OpTic have been. Obviously, again, we talked about the ping situation, but oh, bit cheeky there.
They're going for the knife. 0-9.
But the amount of times that OpTic have actually like pushed into the second mid through the balcony and stuff, which is generally pretty punishable in this iteration of Inferno.
This is confusing. I don't know. It just seems like I've seen this happen to SK a couple times. Didn't this just happen to them versus like Ghost?
Yeah, this is like their first game. They lost. Which map was it even?
That was for ECS, right?
Yeah, it was ECS. Yeah. They just got wrecked by Ghost 16-3, I think, something like that.
Maybe they're going versus pro mode.
It might have been Inferno or Mirage.
Oh, man.
I remember seeing it was one of those maps. I thought. Regardless, I don't know. Maybe SK's finally feeling the you know, just life a little bit. They're away from home, but that's always the thing you think is going to happen. Hey, these guys are going to go in a slump and they're going to come back, but they normally keep it very short.
Yeah.
They don't waste time taking those cold remedies. You know, some people eat fast food when they get sick and they kind of get lazy with it. That's not SK. They get their diet on point right away. Look at they're coming back right now.
Yeah, Fur's eating up the OpTic players. That's his diet. HS able to find him though, but Fur's got the A site control now, so clean path to the A site. And yeah, this shouldn't really be doable for OpTic. They're really far away. So much time for the post plant positions, all the utility in the world. Although that said, Taco running down mid to take that battle.
2 versus 3 gives them an opportunity.
Yeah.
They want another kill in like the next 10 seconds. Although they're so close to the site in fairness.
Ooh.
And that might be the round just there. Or is it? Magic's point, instant trade, still chances. Getting flanked though from apartments. It's got a smoke, but I can't imagine him going for a ninja defuse. He might use the fake players up.
Tough.
Yeah. That's it. Those are 2 very expensive rounds for OpTic, so you can see the money starts to cause them problems.
It's good that this is actually still could be a close game. I think that's something a lot of amateurs get really psyched out about, right? You see yourself down 8-0, and it seems like, oh, we haven't got anything, the world's collapsing. But you always got to look at what's left, right, to play. So if SK gets 5 here, even, and lose 1 more, that's super doable.
Yeah, absolutely. Even 3. I mean, what was like in Eddie League at the finals?
Well, yeah, of
like
course,
12-3, right? And
I'm trying to play the odds a little here. Yeah, you can have
came
crazy
back
games.
and won from that on cash. That was actually an insane game. Yeah, it's a funny one. I do wonder how long it will take for OpTic to sort of find their roles, find their feet, because it's like such a crazy new project. Because it's just like 5 guys just coming together, all sort of doing stuff that perhaps they haven't done before.
Who calls for them?
Freiburg, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the fact that he's able to reinvent himself. Because for years, you just think of him as the NIP guy. You know, that's not Forest and that's not Get Right. You know. So
And you love him. I don't know if it's because I just talk hockey with him all the time, but he's got that very good teammate feeling. Like he's gonna like go to battle with you, but not make you feel bad if you don't play well. You know, he's just super good teammate.
Yeah, I definitely got that vibe as well. Whenever I spoke to him.
Look at Mixwell. This is the 3rd time now I've seen him just try to make something happen in Windows, so that's definitely something notable.
Nice shot there from HS. Much needed frag, and they will rotate the sniper towards B, as you commonly do in a situation like this where weaponry isn't spectacular. Expecting the opposition to avoid the sniper by going where it isn't.
You know, we used to call this the Team 3D play back in the day. When you go down to 3v5 on defense, you just put all 3B. That was the old Team 3D play back in the day.
Nice. I like it.
Super early on, and people would get so angry because they gamble stacked, and they would think it was dumb. And I was like, well, you ran into it.
Yeah, it's dumb. Why did you lose it? The immortal question.
Classic, yeah.
If it was stupid.
You tryhards, why are you trying so hard in this pug?
Yeah.
So do you have any what are your favorite positions to play on this map?
CT?
Yeah.
I've played A for the most in recent competition. Bananas, I I hate playing spots like B, but I also love them. I think it's because you could win or lose rounds so fast.
Yeah.
If you're that spawn player and you scrim through the smoke and die right away, you look like an idiot. Your teammates left triple alone. They already know where he's at. Or you can come to the smoke and get 3. So that's kind of a fun aspect. But I've always A has been better for me. It's more of like you have to utilize nades. You kind of can read the play more throughout the half. You got to worry about those hall pops. I'm more used to that dynamic for sure. Stewie and Tim were pretty good B players for us. So I was just the guy who would come smoke their car for them and then give them some extra time.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I'm not sure. Did you guys like Banana on this rendition of Inferno? I think I just get used to maps, so at this point I haven't complained really. I get used to it. I got used to Dust 2, then I changed it. But yeah, I've always thought like maybe another object in the B site may make it a little bit more balanced, because you could see when team Mixwell and Freiburg, dude.
OpTic is just going ham.
I love this. You can tell it's Freiburg too. Fuck it, boys, we're pushing it.
Golden falling left,
Okay.
wondering what the hell's going on at the moment. Smoke on the T stairs. Why not?
Fallen looking aware. Cold Deer and Fallen. If you want anyone to win a 2v, give these guys a chance.
This is getting really, really weird.
Okay.
This is like this is pre-war right now. So we're running to T spawn.
Freiburg has influenced Alo. He just flew down. Goes for the fight.
Where is H's?
I feel like if you're not good at taking B control on CT, then the CTs can play, like your CT side's pretty comfortable. But I feel like if the Ts are really good at taking B control, playing B in general, playing anywhere on the site is really tough, because good teams will force you to play 2B a lot. And then even then, they force you to use utility early if they take B early. And then holding B without any nades is like you're hoping some bait and switch setup works. You could boost a guy flowers and have a guy scrim through the spawn smoke at the same time and hope you get like 2 for 2 or something. But look at him again.
I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely loving it. This is online
Hold
CS
my
right
beer.
now.
Yeah, I think they're trying to.
This is a
drive
little
their
Nip
opponents
esque.
crazy.
Does this not remind you a little bit of Nip online? Maybe in scrims. I used to play against them, and I remember in scrims mid-game, I felt like Force and Fiber would call this the mid pushes all day on CT side.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, those
We
trolls.
see a lot on anti-ecos in general, on old Inferno, but not so much on new Inferno.
They probably felt like their money was going to be somewhat bad, or they would save and stack. Is that a sign of desperation, or is that them trying to be strategic? I don't know. Like, are they trying to just scrape out another round, or they think they could catch them off guard? Obviously, they thought they could catch them off guard, but
I thought we would have seen more CT smokes down mid by now. Like just.
You mean in general, or?
Yeah, just like because it's so annoying, and the T's will probably spend a while just spraying through. But and you could technically punish those traces with an AWP or something, or at least try to. But just as a nuisance, and also to make plays towards second mid. But then maybe it's just a waste of a smoke which you could use in a much more effective fashion, because they are very valuable for the CT side.
This is such a weird game. I'm kind of lost for words. I'm like, I don't understand. I mean, obviously OpTic have. I mean, in many of the early rounds, they were just running like aggressive balcony, which you see that there's like something that CT side might do once, and try to take picks down into second mid because it's so punishable. And it might just. I mean, you'd think that this aggressive tendencies would sort of slow SK down, but their paces remain fairly consistent. Just trying to challenge there. That is amazing for Ali, just having the mag 7. This spot is so good. Oh, why are you doing this?
he just deep peek bottom mid with mag 7. That's wonderful. Ooh, Taco's about to win the round for SK here. Never mind, gets a little hasty. He almost had that kill and info and the site, but now his error is their fault.
Yeah, now Freiburg's not sure what to do in CT spawn at the moment. Wondering if he should. Ooh, hello.
Interesting.
Me USP. Cold Zero wondering what's going on.
Mixed Boss showing Alu that you use a USP at that range.
See, this is the rounds where Freiburg will get excited. Not bashing on him. I'm more complimenting Cold. This is where whoever the one player is in the 3v1 thinks it's a 3v1, they're fine. Cold kills him, and then he gets put in a 2v1 where he's very good at isolating people. But Freiburg's playing this really smart. My concern would be if Freiburg plays like Coffin there, and he tries to jiggle peek him, and then Cold hunts him down before the rotators get there, and then he isolates him. But that was a great play by Freiburg.
So go into as much detail as you can about like why taking that off angle is obviously a better play. Like, I mean, you said, you know, in case you're going to get like picked off, obviously.
In particular there, Freiburg actually chose a good spot because he could watch the CT spawn walk through. There's a very low chance that Cold walks in and clears back hall. But more importantly, guys, if you're like playing a spot like Coffin or back corner or emo, or triple rather, when Cold walks in there, he's going to spot you and you'll shoot at him, and you only have about 5 seconds till he's in your face fragging you. When you're back hall corner, there's less chance. Ooh, I like this play. The rush. Freiburg's not calming down with these calls. Oh, no. But, yeah, so in those late situations, wow, they just are all lose. He said, hold my beer. I'm flying through here.
Oh, dear. That's an important kill that they don't get the CT side. 1 versus 2 now. Magic Boy with the better Glock. Better than it used to be. Do they know where he is? Well, they've got pretty good control of the map at the moment of CT, so there's not much unknown information, but there he is, appearing. That's a great headshot, and Cold Zero, he's reloading, peeking.
Boom.
Was that the ping, or was that the skill?
Wow.
According to the forums, we have to break that down into it. Now, Magic's Boy's a great player.
Or is it the upgraded Glock?
Damn, I did not go the way of SK. Is
this second one was nice.
Are OpTic going to win this game?
Yeah, they could. The thing is that it's, like I said, even SK lost against Ghost, it's kind of a big deal for SK to drop maps against middle table and you know, bottom table teams. I think OpTic right now on paper probably middle upper table team. So I mean, SK could be in trouble by the end of the season if the, you know, things continue like this. If they do actually lose this map,
we gotta show SK a picture of the hotel rooms in Cancun and the view.
Yeah,
I think that'll excite them a little bit. Wherever they want to vacate next.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rio de Janeiro.
Pistols on the SK team, looking for round number 6. Ooh, got players falling on both sides.
It's happening. It's happening. It's not happening. It's no. So 12-5. This is getting quite interesting for SK. I do really wonder how SK internalize sort of their, you know, hardships recently, because I think it's sort of new territory to this extent for them. So I'm curious like how the team is taking it. I didn't manage to like sit down and talk with someone like Taco, for example. Taco is usually, you know, talking like always, you know, just you know, hovering around and very approachable and very easy to talk to. But I didn't manage to get a word from him at E-League, so didn't get to ask him that question.
They got eliminated.
Yeah.
Time. So, tell me about this.
Yeah, it's not. That's the thing. It's like sometimes it's like you're like, I really want to ask this question, but I just don't want to be a dick.
Walk up with your little notebook in hand,
yeah,
pen in the other.
Whenever I jump out the commentary booth, I'm like walking back to the green room, and I see someone. I go to the toilet or something, see someone who's just lost. I just nod. I don't talk to them. It's just like,
yeah, yeah.
A lot of people don't want to talk in that situation, right?
And you're gonna have time later.
Yeah. Depending on the loss, they may be fuming and so on, and just want to, you know, to play League of Legends or something. So just leave them to it. Just leave them to it.
Because the worst thing as well is that like they'll get asked that exact same question by about 20 people within the space of like a day, and it's just not fun.
We're basically heroes.
Just let them have a cocktail, and they'll just start talking about it.
Yeah. That's.
First gun round, man. I should have had all 3.
God damn, spray down. It is real. These rounds are so fast, man.
Oh, that's a good kill by Al. If he can get one more, that'll help their reset. He can't. It's alright. Even that one helps a bit. Generally, the rule of thumb is if you could get them down to 2 people alive, it's worth going for the reset. I think right now this could be risky by They had money. They had not money. Never mind. They got money. I'm stupid. Stop listening to me. But yeah, generally, if you think that you want to reset them, if they have 3 people alive, you're not really going to be able to force by the next round to do anything to their money.
7 rounds between the 2 sides. Would you favor SK at this point? I mean, considering the pings.
I don't know. Let's watch this round, see how desperate OpTic looks. I don't know. Online, I feel like on LAN, you know, and I hate saying this because I want every match to matter the same, and it does. This is like they're definitely playing their game. This SK's not doing anything different, but I feel like something happens when they see the crowd and they see the moment, and they, you know, that's when I'd be like, hey, you know, it's much more possible. I feel like right here, SK's just gonna keep playing their game, and if the shots go their way, yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
See, like, they're going to keep playing their game. They're totally capable of coming back. But I think unless OpTic gets too desperate, they have a good chance of winning.
Yeah,
Oh,
they only need
ace.
3 rounds.
Let's go. Yes, there it is. It's so satisfying when people are playing a corner and peeking, and you just hold the spray and then they just
win.
re-peek into it, and you're like, yes. Get wrecked. Get fully wrecked. It's like an extreme version of that because all the trade fragments. I will trade.
It's cool that, what was that first year, the flash from Coffin at the end there. He might have even released it a half-second late, but it's nice for him to get those kills. And even if Fallen dies there, the flash goes off. Kind of staggers the hit a bit.
No grenades whatsoever for the T side. Subject, well, they're forced to wait because of the Molotov, and they will peek in. Only one going to go down, actually, so...
I like to play a lot though from SK to, I guess, you know, it's somewhat standard when you're expecting that there could be a rush basically, and obviously B is generally more likely, and you just slow them down with the Molotov and the HE, and it's like, okay, maybe they'll still rush, but you can get pickoffs before they actually get through the major choke point to the bomb site, so you get more opportunities to sort of thin them out before they get to the site. So 13-8, SK definitely coming back into this. Only 3 rounds for OpTic though. That would be quite hilarious if they're unable to. Because I mean, if they win this map, they'll probably be so chuffed. I mean,
yeah, it's more than they can expect, surely.
Absolutely.
Especially after the first map.
I think that the first half OpTic were playing super carefree, and now, you know, they were like, wow, we're doing really well here. Let's keep this aggressive pace is working out, but on the CT side, you're, you know, obviously up against SK, and their setups are pretty strong. We've seen that already. You can't just run and gun as easily.
That was quite the headshot. Well, the bait there, he almost punishes it, but Phelps is in the perfect position. There is a T on a short area as well, but it seems they're going for the hero rotate, but only 2 of them. They're going to leave 1 person to fake, although I'm sure he'll start to back off. SK will note the lack of sound towards A, but will they make a play? Phelps still trying to hold down the arch position, still being entertained, so it's fair on his own. There is no rotation inside. Both players coming in for the ball.
Ooh, I love that pre-fire. Oh, he's so unlucky that pre-fire not to work out.
See, in this case, versus what I was talking about the other situation where it was a 3v1, I like Fur taking that fight in the Coffin side because he could do damage by just holding that angle. And if he gets the kill there, there's a good chance he just falls back and stays alive. This is still an easy round, potentially for SK to win if they... Not necessarily easy, but it's still very viable with the HPs on OpTic.
That bomb's ticking though, and this banana play is pretty slow. Oh my god, that's brutal, but can they get onto the site in time? I don't even think Magic's Boy has to peek in that situation.
It's weird, because I've been in that situation so much on CT, and even as a player, when I'm coming through backhaul and I have no utility left on my team, you can easily be like, fuck, we're going to lose this, there's so many angles to check.
Language, please.
It's a family show.
Yes, it
Jeez.
is.
Fine, I'm going to have a swear. We have to put a swear jar in here if I'm here.
We can do
You
that.
can buy lunch every day with what I say. All right. Yeah, it could be daunting when you're retaking, but a lot of times they're triple, they're back right, they're water. You know, you just kind of clear the spots and go in as a team late, and if you have HP, it surprisingly can work out. Unless you're playing someone like Nico and he just decides to peek you with an AK and kill all 3 of you.
Or a deagle, or UMP.
or anything. Maybe
Or
even
a
a
shoot.
knife. He could throw it at you. He actually figured that one out too.
That would be so awesome. The throwing knives, like
One
Soldier
player
Fortune 2. I don't know if
breaks
you
the
played
game.
that game.
Oh yes, I did.
That was like the perfect marriage of Quake and CS. And
Yeah.
you like throw knives and stuff. It was so
I
sick,
actually
that game.
do remember that game. That was the
So
same
good.
time I think I just finished playing Delta Force.
Oh, nice. Well, here's the walk-in towards B. Not going too well, and the smoke's down as well to essentially prevent OpTic from getting into that bomb site, and the two-man setup is strong, so OpTic do reconsider their avenue of attack, and back to A perhaps. Not too much for them to really do towards B. I mean, it's pretty much on lock, and they haven't gotten a pick yet. And SK actually still have a pretty good amount of utility left in this one. So it's going to be... This is really tough. OpTic have one smoke, so this is probably the reason why they're going to go back to B, as they're going to get more money out of a single smoke. Smoke is likely going to go for CT. Time is running low though, and back to A it seems. I wonder what exactly changed their mind here.
Yeah, but they're going to be so telegraphed running
Yeah.
up because of the players in the site can hear them rotating, as well as Taco seeing them rotate. Can they get the flashes there in time towards the short position? They can, and that is the crossfire play, which is so strong on a CT side. Clock running down as they fight to take the rest of the round. SK with another round in the bag.
And one thing there as well, I think, you know, for people to note is just that Taco was just playing info. He was just peeking, not to take a fight, but just to be able to get the information. That's sometimes much more important than trying to take a fight.
Totally. I think that kind of comes full circle with those points we were making earlier, right? You just sometimes you got to play to get that info, because time versus you're kind of pinching them in, know where they're at. That's almost more important than the kill.
I feel like especially on Inferno too, if sometimes some teams, when the CT side is winning sort of those banana engagements and starting to pressure banana get the deep smokes, some teams just allow the CTs to just have the deep smokes there and that level of control. And then the CTs they have so much ability to just like kind of herd you and always sort of know where you are, because they just have too much info. And I'm always surprised when teams don't decide to sort of, you know, force the CT to respect them on banana a bit more.
I think it was it North? Someone had some pretty neat plays at one point where they're actually, contrary to what you were suggesting, they're actually letting them have B control bottom B, but they would always do something on 1 minute when they had already used like 3 or 4 smokes on CT, and it was always this like left mid or right mid smoke followed by an exec through the bottom B smoke. So they would like force the trade if there's a guy in banana, and they would have this like deep smoke car and flash, and then they would run through the close and clear bottom, because I guess they knew the teams would like more apt to play close and spot.
Yeah.
And then they would also have taken bracket control, so they'd push back car while they had bracket. So even if the CTs wanted to fight car, if they did double fight car, they immediately have 2 guys pressuring wrap on that one. So it was kind of an interesting.
Does sound like a North thing.
Yeah, it
to be honest.
was interesting, because I remember we kind of scouted it and we kind of created a strat to take back B control at one point, but we didn't have to use it too much. But yeah, there is that. It is interesting sometimes when teams do give it up and they have no contingency plan. They kind of just give up the map.
Yeah.
They have these nades and they're just kind of sitting there and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's really hard to watch, because sometimes it's really obvious that they're sort of like, oh god, like
Yeah.
what are we doing now?
And then a guy runs out boiler by himself and gets offed or something,
Yeah.
because they don't have any map control.
Ooh, Phelps getting wrecked there. Nice shot by HS. OpTic just teasing SK's defense here, but that's a really nice challenge for Taco to win. Imagine if he loses that one, SK are in a lot of trouble, but he doesn't, and he's obviously got reinforcements coming. 4 players to attention on the A site now, and these defensive smokes buying loads of time for SK to actually have everybody ready to fight over this A site.
Is it?
It's going to be tough for OpTic with no nades left coming on the bomb site, and yeah, they're running into a death trap right here, unless something wild happens on the OpTic end.
I need those nades. They're waiting out the smokes, and then it's time to go, I suppose. Taco does eventually see Magisk down the balcony. Good coverage from Cold Zero, able to prevent Mixwell running straight up onto Taco's position. He will eventually die to Freiburg, but enough damage has been done by this setup, and just as you say, like without that utility, it's a death trap.
Yeah, at that point you're hoping you literally peek the right angle, right? Because you run into sight, he could be center, he could be boosting on the left, could be under Valk. That's why it's, you know, a lot of teams, you'll see teams more nowadays on CT side, they'll use their utility mid, but they just pretty much go into those passive setups. And, you know,
Yeah.
because they're so scared of the halls pop, and then they know if the team does come up mid, it's still so easily, even though you gave them on the ground, it's still easy to hold 2v3,
Yes,
2v4.
yeah, yeah.
Well, what has happened to this lead of OpTic?
Little lineup.
Yeah, so a common one after those smokes from the CT side. To push up from Banana. These pistols not quite working out for OpTic. Have they won any T sides, any T rounds? Well, beyond the pistol, basically the answer is no. So OpTic haven't won a buy round just yet.
Well, the prophecy is coming, Dan.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely looks like that. OpTic really struggling on that T side. And yeah, it's nice cheeky little ace for Furs. They basically just run into his crosshair. Up on Banana, so 13-13, everything tied up. SK with just unlimited money at this point. And OpTic really being put to the test. It must be difficult to feel comfortable for OpTic in their T side right now. You know, dealing with that ping issue.
Yeah, it's probably kind of annoying, which could affect your patience, which is pretty big on T side. So hopefully, this is interesting. OpTic's assuming it's a very light B pressure.
It's a really fast shot from Cole. Freiburg tries to run past the angle. And again, it's all SK 3 versus 5. It's not the first time we've seen it in this half.
Looks like they had some kind of porch explode. It looks actually like a nip strat I've seen in the past, which makes sense if Freiburg's calling. I think they were trying to get a quick boiler control, and then they kind of throw that smoke balcony, and then they throw a flash over porch off the roof, and then they explode porch.
Right, right.
Which is actually pretty good versus SK setup right there because they had 3, but when there's an operated boiler, you don't have a guy.
Yeah, it looked like they were pretty prepared for any fast apartments.
Well, the one
pressure.
thing OpTic forgot to do right there is when you take fast boiler on that strat, instead of throwing the normal molly on the top of window, you're supposed to throw a deep molly so it goes down the stairs. So as you jump up, they have to swing into you at the bottom of boiler versus them being able to be posted there.
I've seen a lot of teams in this meta at the moment sort of doing the stack on boiler actually.
Yeah, well, you saw first half, one of the best players in the world got caught off guard for first gun round. Alu doesn't need an op to get kills.
Can his team capitalize on this though? Can they push ahead? They know what it means, pushing the balcony, the numbers game, top mid, and Fallen is here to fight. 2 versus 3, trying to buy time for the rotation, but Fer is very far away indeed. All too far away. He's got 13k in the bank though, so that would suggest that his team have the money for him to try and do as much damage as possible, if not try to win the round. And maybe he can catch someone repositioning, but no, he will be subject to another smoke grenade. But there's a gap, and he may try to creep through it. No one giving him anything at the moment. Mixwell has the angle on the smoke, and that will finally be a round for OpTic.
Nice. And a timely round at that as well. 14-14. There is still a hope here for them to pull out a victory.
I'm glad they got that.
It'd be pretty huge for them to do so, considering the situation, you know.
I didn't get a chance to look at the standings. How's it looking for the...
It's still pretty early.
It's pretty early.
Yeah, it's day 4 right now.
Yeah, so not much to report at the moment. Nothing dramatic going on.
I mean, beyond SK losing to Ghost, I think that's really the most notable thing. Everything else is more or less normal.
I think that would be the most notable all season.
Yeah, probably.
No offense to the Ghost guys, of course, but it's inherent.
They're not supposed to win.
They're not.
Right, well, we got a quick push up middle here. Phelps only able to get 1. And we actually have a response here from SK pushing Banana with Fur, but he's going to get a 1v1 potentially. I'm not sure who's down. I think it was actually... Okay, it's Freiburg who was down in that position, but he's obviously given it up at this point. Ooh, Taka, will he get a flash for this? Doesn't need a flash. And that's interesting, actually, because they probably were really expecting there to be a push. I like that they've confirmed the movement of OpTic there with that information play. Now on the other side as well, Taco moving in again to spot some info. And they see that OpTic are still going A. So you can see how SK is just continually keeping tabs on this situation. And it's really important because it also informs Fer how he's supposed to play the B side of the map. admiring the lily pads.
Yeah, Fur has Fallen coming close. He can flash pool for him, and I think Fur will hold his position. Sorry, Fallen maybe to do that, but no, he's just going to go for the spray, run distraction, while Fur tries to put in some work, but only good for 1 kill, 3 on 3. Fallen needs to hold construction while his team rotates. Got to be careful with those traces, doesn't stand his ground for too long.
I've watched a lot of players shoot over the bomb planner's head in that spam, and I think if anyone's watching, you should note to yourself it's way lower than you think. Every time you spam it, the guy's doing some like weird, the normal plant animation.
Well, I don't commonly see people using reference points when stuff's obscured from the smoke. You know, having like a reference point. I'm not sure if that's something that you use, but Magus might be able to make this happen. That's a nice sort of spray down to 5 HP. Oh, that's so close. But no. Oh, actually, looks like there's. Is there time here? Looks like there's.
It's called just has it.
Ooh, it's close.
Yeah, no, the reference point thing was big in 1.6 because all the ground was flat for me. So I always had some kind of reference in the sky or higher up on the archway of the ceiling that would tell me at least the y-axis.
Yeah.
Or the x-axis, rather. And then in terms of how on the y-axis, it was always just kind of like what you think the player's doing.
Sure,
is
sure,
he planting? Is he standing? Is he fighting? So it's definitely important if you're doing your wall bangs. I'm excited. The new Dust 2 has some wall bangs, right? I haven't looked them all up, but
Yeah, I haven't looked at it either yet.
apparently you could shoot through the floor of CT spawn now to CAD again.
Oh, cool.
And I was like,
That's
I used to always get kills as the rotator when people would exit in 1.6. Half of the reason I played rotator is because I just didn't have to fight people or see them to kill them. It was awesome.
Yeah, I really missed that. That was so much fun.
I wonder if that's deliberate though, and if it will stay.
Oh man, that's a frustrating death.
Yeah, and again, it's a quick
2
3
teammates.
versus 5. SK have done a good job of picking off 2 players of OpTic in the early stages of a number of rounds, and have left OpTic in this situation where problems are compounded. See, OpTic still trying to keep map control at the moment, which means they can't trade. They're all spread out.
This is a really sucky loss for OpTic because you can't help but feel like if we were at home, we would have won. I think it's valid. I definitely think it hasn't looked like their ping is so high. They've hit a lot of shots, but I think it's definitely part of the mental game, especially playing a map like Inferno, where you're fighting for ground constantly on banana. You're fighting for ground top mid. You have to be kind of confident. So.
Oh wow.
Ooh, okay.
That's big.
Taco now last line of defense here to save the overtime for SK.
We just got a real match. He's got 3 HP. They need to take him down. Flying Mixwell will do it. And now it's Mixwell alone, faking. But Fur will wait for his teammate.
Oh, that's smart. Repositioning with the bomb plant. I actually love the movement from Mixwell. And he might be able to, he should be able to get some 1v1s here. This is perfect. Mixwell's playing this really well at the moment. Now, what will Fallen do? Does he go into through Boiler? Looks like he's not. He's going to rejoin his comrade Fur by Library. So
I love the patience here to walk back around together with SK.
Oh, this is the last place they're expecting. Fallen's going for the hero play now, and there it is. That's a wrap. GG.
Nice.
Overtime, baby.
Good play by Mixwell, baby. Do you guys know any, was it Portuguese?
Only rude words.
Only rude words.
Only rude words.
Or no, Spanish, right?
Mixwell, I think, is Spanish, right?
Spanish,
yeah.
Yeah, but the Brazilian's Portuguese.
Yeah, I have no idea as far as Spanish goes.
I was thinking for Mixwell. I forget Portugal, Spain. So he's Spanish, right? So they just speak.
When I did jiu-jitsu, my teacher taught me in Portuguese because if I fought anybody in the UK, he wanted to be able to communicate with me without them knowing what he was saying.
That's awesome.
So he would tell me the drills in Portuguese.
That is gangster. I love that.
Talking shit about his opponent, but
Language, honestly.
I got a swear jar.
This is terrible behavior. We normally expect this from Swedish people like Fifth Laren with the F.
That's
I'm
true.
uncomfortable. I'm just gonna stop talking.
That is true. The Swedish people get an excuse. They really
Florian.
cannot help it.
Florian can't. Yeah, he cannot help it.
Carrigan dropped the F-bomb on TBS, I think twice or something.
Yeah, in the final interview at the end, I'm watching at my friends. That was funny.
That's amazing and so typical of Scandinavians. Well, oh, that I don't think Cole knew anything about that one. Ali just ran into the just oncoming freight train there. Well, Fallen and Fur back in a horrible spot again on a retake, and all the smoke's down. You can't really like their chances. Fallen's just going to walk straight through this one. No one's looking! What? Why is no one looking?
And no trade from the graveyard guy. Isn't there a guy right next to him? Oh, and then he's got the molly down. And then his porch guy's going to come up porch and kill the guy graveyard. Because he's low. It's happening. It's
oh
all
my
happening.
god.
It's all happening.
Such a sick molly.
It's all happening.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
wow.
There were 4 of them. 4 of them.
What were they doing?
And
It's communication. It's communication, isn't it?
And I was sitting here thinking if I just didn't run out halls. Shit. Language. That's $13.
Number 4. That's number 4.
Production's throwing things at me.
Everybody. What is Mikwa looking at? It looks like he was looking at graveyard on the site.
Oh,
everyone
was
looking. They were all looking to the east.
Yeah, that was really weird. Like a miscommunication, maybe. That's so strange, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how you explain that.
That's got to be annoying. Because that's your round. That is your round.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You should never lose that, right? Never lose that.
Well, the graveyard guy, because he's so low, his only chance I think he felt at winning the porch fight is if he hits the pre-aim perfectly. But when you're coming up porch, you're pre-aiming the edge of that tall box, which is kind of lined up with graveyard, and you kind of always clear that. So he's probably assuming he's going to lose that fight. It looks like he tried to fight Moto a second before that to timing the guy on the retake, and then give his teammate a good 1v1. Oh, almost went for the double CK there.
I know, right? He's so close as well. Oh my goodness.
And now
this is going very badly wrong. All right now.
After OpTic, I thought OpTic was about to win that first round of OT, and I was gonna go on this little spiel about like, oh, it looks like this OT's giving him second win. They look a little bit more poised. Nice A take. Oh jeez, that's unfortunate.
You didn't even get time to jinx them before it all went wrong.
Holy crap! See what I did there?
That was good.
PG-13.
I respect that. You're evolving as a human being in front of our eyes.
46 and 2. You listen to Tool? Sorry.
I do, yeah. I made a Tool reference at E-League.
Did you?
Someone was getting smashed, and I said, "Vicariously, I live while the whole world dies."
The whole world
Nice.
dies.
Yes.
Tool is so good. Everyone who has not heard of Tool, you should listen to them. Alright, SK playing really passively on the A bomb site. And OpTic just going for the push. They don't have a huge amount of utility left, but they are going to try to make it work here. Taco playing around the pit position, doing what he must, and that's another very comfortable setup. I mean, this was a comfortable round. The other rounds for SK were sort of, it sort of felt like OpTic were making some misplays or miscommunications for it to go wrong, and that they should have had 2 rounds in the first half.
I think you can just kind of see the annoyance in OpTic, because that very first gun round, they kind of do a nice coordinated A-take, and they lose it kind of in an annoying fashion. They go right back to the mid-burst. Now, it's not a bad play. I've lost to the mid-burst on CT side a lot, but when you have money on a second round of OT on T side, they had a little bit more to do than that. I feel like if they would have won that first gun round, they wouldn't have sped it up. So it sucks too. I feel like OpTic is a little tilted. So.
Triple up.
Yeah, but they're back to their CT side, and yeah, they're all over the place now. They're all over the place. Well, their bodies are. Now they're losing 2 players early on the CT side. Ruthless aggression not quite working out for OpTic. And this might just be the match for SK. A long, hard-fought comeback. 2 versus 4. Magic's boy's position is known, and Freiberg's not far behind him. He'll get smoked off the site, kind of half. There are 2 more smokes for the T side, so life isn't going to get better.
Yeah, looks like they are not long for this world, Magic's boy and Freiberg. And there it is, 1915. SK Gaming take map 2 against OpTic. A very close call, that is for certain, especially after that, what was it, like 9-1, 8-1 start that OpTic Gaming were able to pull out the bag on the CT side. But everything eventually came together for SK Gaming as they grinded it out, and they're a team that's very good at grinding out rounds.
Yeah, it's cool to see SK. Even, you remember early in first half talking about, even when they're down, even when they lose a round, they shouldn't. They go right back into kind of, if you give them an opening, they're going to take it. And it's always fun to watch a team play that. You would almost not even call it textbook, but just that aware, kind of on a round-around basis. So, a little bit of what would you call it, bandwagoning for SK with my opinion there, but you know, it definitely sucks for OpTic to play with that ping, because early round on CT side, Mixwell three big rounds on CT I noted where he won the round basically by getting picks aggressive hauls. They weren't playing scared at all. And it just sucks to see him lose like that.
Yeah,
especially right here, this retake.
Oh
yeah,
man.
that was a massive round for the CT side there. You see the statistics, and that's a big scare avoided by SK. This is the post-game analysis powered by Alienware, as you can see on the top of your screen. But yeah, SK, I mean, they will feel maybe fortunate that they got away with that one, because OpTic had a massive lead in the first half.
Yeah.
And I think we have to sort of give the MVP to